Okay, I'm going to call the December 2nd meeting of the Parks and Recreation Committee to order.
6:31.
Public forum, anybody who wishes to speak? No? All right, works for us. Correspondence, moving right along here. The only correspondence we have is a email from Craig, our
Disc golf
disc golf pro. And actually, it's under new business, so shall we put this aside until we get to new business?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of November 4th?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 4th.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, any additions or corrections, or? We're good? Wow. All in favor?
Aye.
And I abstain, I wasn't here. Expenditures. Any questions, any comments?
I'm gonna mention one on the ground maintenance. That's on page 3. Sewer pro, you see there for about $7,400. That's for the vandalism we had down in Jacobs Beach, where someone tried to light it on fire. That's what it costs out of our budget to.
Serve Pro, yeah.
It was after our last meeting, I think, sometime.
It was,
It was October or November.
I want to say it was,
No, it was before the last.
yeah, it
Did
was
I
before.
report it? Maybe I didn't have the quote for it, yeah.
Yeah.
And they did the work, and that's right, yeah. It was in October sometime it happened. There's still more, though. The inside's got to get painted. We'll have to do that in the spring. It was too cold to do it this time of year. But, yeah, no.
No.
We,
We get like one of those cameras. I know a few people that use them just for wildlife in their backyard,
Mhm.
but just like it
we
doesn't have to be
have
something
them.
expensive.
We have one of those somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay.
We do have, but police are working on it. I believe they have, I've heard they have somebody who they're going to be questioning.
Interest.
Yeah,
Rick, insurance doesn't pay for that?
$10,000 deductible.
Okay.
It may even come close to that after we paint it and do everything else that still has to be done, but it's just,
At this point, probably not worth it.
yeah. But it's very, very
Is
disheartening.
it, another 2,000.
How come we only got charged for Eversource at the weight room?
That's the only bill that
Usually
came in so far. Yeah, we'll get, next month, we'll probably see 2 gas bills, 2 security bills. We just didn't get them yet.
I'm like,
Electric,
do
water.
we get excused now?
No, not yet.
Heat, yeah.
Lowest in the front.
It just didn't come in, by the time we got this report.
Oh, you mean nothing else?
We'll see it
Yeah.
next month.
Oh, I see. Okay, a motion to approve the bills. Second? Any other comments on the bills? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Department reports. Rick, anything that,
Nothing really. Number 5, we have it in here, I think, the capital budget. I think we put it in, but Rose and I went to the Board of Selectmen on that one,
That's
Board of
under our-
Finance.
unfinished business stuff?
Presented that, and, yeah, okay. And then, number 7, the disc golf tournament, Lawrence played in it, and there were 40 players.
That was a ton of fun.
It's a good fundraiser for Meals on
I came
Wheels.
up, I was surprised at the number of cars in the lot, 'cause it was a cold Saturday
It
morning.
was.
Yeah, it was cold.
It was, and I was surprised to just watch these people coming and going. It was great.
Yeah, but Christy Burton did a tremendous job putting that all together for Meals on,
Yeah?
she's Meals on Wheels coordinator, and it was to benefit them, and they did very well, and she got all kinds of raffle prizes, and
Yes.
did a nice job organizing. We worked with her to make it all happen, and it was a good event.
Was it a lot of people from in town or a mixture of
A
both?
good mix,
That's
good mix of people from all over the state. I'm not sure about out of state.
I played with, I forget exactly where, but they were pretty far away from me. I forget exactly where, but they were pretty, one was, I think, a couple towns over, but the other one was like pretty far away.
The guy who won was from Fairfield.
Yeah.
But Lou Federici played,
Yeah.
a few other, town officials were there, and Lawrence represented the commission, and Tony played, Todd, myself, I think we were the only employees that played. But there were a lot of people from Guilford that played in it.
Yeah, and when I asked her, she said there was a good mix of
Yeah.
people that had come in. And a nice age range as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And the two I played with, they were really impressed with the whole, you know, the
Great.
baskets, the way the course was laid out, everything. They didn't have a complaint about anything.
Yeah,
Good.
Craig did a nice job laying it out.
I always walk to the first hole, turn and go back. That's it, one time. Someday I'll play. Okay, Tony's report. Any questions or comments? So a lot of indoor stuff now, huh?
Kind of winterization, they'll bring in the chair,
Yep.
Adirondack chairs from the beach, picnic tables they'll be bringing in soon and painting them. You see, winterize the bathrooms and irrigation systems. Leaf pickup was big on the green, that took about a week, the guys getting that done. And we are bringing trash barrels in, I know John Jagelski had asked about that a while back, which we planned on doing anyway, but at least half of them are in now. And we don't need them on the ball fields now. We don't need them at Lake Quannapock. And so, you know, Tony's going through a list and bringing a lot of them in to store down at the garage and put them back out in the spring.
How's the trash recycling going?
The
Is it
recycling
work-
part of it?
Well, just picking up.
Trash part's going good.
Okay, people still aren't.
People don't recycle. They
No.
don't. And it's disturbing. The only places where it really is getting done are here in Town Hall. And so our guys separately go and get those barrels empty and bring them to the transfer station to recycle. I'd say about 100% of the time when they look in a recycled barrel in the parks, there's trash in it. And it's just very
When we
amazing.
met with the selectmen, Charlie Harvard brought that up as well, and he says we really do, in the spring, need to look at some sort of a campaign to educate people more, so that they realize that if it says bottles and cans, put them where the bottles and cans
Cans
are,
go.
and put the rest of the stuff in
Yeah.
the other.
I hate to
So-
be pessimistic, but
That amuses me. That-
Well, I think we
that's
could,
still-
no matter what
I think
you
we could
do.
educate quite a few people to
Yeah.
do that.
I'm guilty of something. I
Yeah, it
can't
can't
do
hurt.
that.
No, it's true.
And they're side by
I mean,
side.
we're all doing it, most
There's a
people are
trash
doing it
barrel
at
and a recycle
home,
barrel. It's not
that's
like
the
they gotta
funny
walk,
thing is.
It's weird.
100 yards to get it, they're next to each other.
Yeah.
People
I
just
think-
don't, I guess they don't care. But,
No, I think they're doing it in their houses, they
Yeah.
just haven't transferred it.
But I think
Well, a
it's
lot of the
different at
stuff-
home.
A lot of the
Yeah.
stuff that they recycle in their houses aren't in the right box,
yeah. But you're right,
boxes,
Rose,
and
if
that's
they
what.
do the public campaign, you see what happens,
Right.
after it's done. and
Can't
see what
hurt to
happens.
do it.
Yeah, can't hurt to do it.
So
Well, I
we
think
do
it's
have
a
to keep that in
confusion,
mind.
like, I can't go put this in the recycling bin,
Right.
but at home I can as long as I rinse
Right.
it out. So I think people are like
people
really
question it. I do too.
confused, like, well,
I
at
do
home
too.
I put this in the garbage,
Yeah.
but at home you're supposed to
I agree with
rinse it
that.
out before you do that. Like, pizza boxes are
Yeah.
recyclable, everyone, just so you know.
Yes.
What's that?
Pizza boxes
Yes,
are
they are.
recyclable.
Whoa. Yeah. I thought for,
Forever,
it's cardboard.
they
No
were,
way. They
and
weren't.
they
no,
are.
I just,
They are now. I ask every week when I go to the
Really?
dump,
I'd like
can I
to
put
know.
this in here? And he says absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
new.
we
They
take
do
the
it.
paper.
So you
Yeah,
have to
everybody do that.
constantly check.
even if,
So-
even if the
so
cardboard's
basically-
greasy.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So-
Thank you.
So basically, we need to, in the spring, get the rules out there to
Yes.
people and get them educated, because, look, we're just sitting here, and who says we do this, you change it, so. All right, so that'll be one of our springtime things to do.
So trash campaign, trash recycle campaign. Awesome. You know what might be, just to go back on that, if you want to make a note, for the trash and recycling campaigns, you should check the elementary schools and middle schools and high schools for their green teams. A lot of them have student representation for these, that they could probably help you put something together.
Okay?
And I think also Liza Petra's daughter has an organization too.
All right, well, we'll start to get the word out, we'll see what happens. Okay, Ellen's report, recreation supervisor. I did see the brochure today, looks great.
Nice. I
You've
took
got it
one.
with you? Yeah.
To highlight the last two things, Elf on the Shelf has begun. There are 8 or 10 locations in town. I can't tell you where they are because you're not supposed to know, but
You're not supposed to.
8 or 10 of them in town, and people have to find them, and they get there's a card in there in the brochure, they get it stamped. And I think they have to get at least 6 of them, I believe.
Yeah.
Stamped, and if they do, they bring it back here and they go into like a basket, we pull, whoever wins gets whatever the prize is. But it's fun, a lot of people participate in it.
My daughter won 2 years ago. I'm always psyched for this.
My kids won a couple years ago too. It's a lot of fun, especially when you get the what is it? The Guilford box. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a nice prize.
And then Santa's workshop is this Friday.
I was just say, so
with the
Santa
tree
will be
lighting.
here Friday night, huh?
Yeah, from 4 to 6
4
here,
to
and
6.
and there, I think there's gonna be grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup.
Okay.
People wanna get that, and inflatables for the kids, and a lot of stuff going on, crafts. And that's
Good.
preceding the tree lighting, which this year starts at 5:45. The tree lighting. The tree doesn't get lit till, we never say the exact time, because
Because it takes time for all
you don't know,
the
but
things
it's
to start. But it'll start at 5:45.
5:45, yeah.
Okay,
And it's over by about 6:45.
okay. Seniors report. Again, busy.
Yeah, the Harvest Dance, the first one up top there, 120 tickets.
Yeah.
That was, the Elderly Brothers, my wife and I went to it and had a lot of fun. It was great dinner dance. December 11th is the Rotary Lunch. Usually there's about 200 seniors come to that one.
Easily.
That's here next Wednesday, a week from Wednesday.
No.
The Rotary,
does the service.
no, you know what, there'll be I think the,
Christmas brunch on the
The
23rd.
20th,
yeah,
Oh yeah, the 20th. No.
the annual Christmas party, that will have a lot of
the
seniors.
20th, yeah, that's the
20th.
one we would probably need some help from, if we can get some
Right.
volunteers. The Rotary, there's really about 30 Rotarians come and help
Yeah.
serve that one for the seniors.
The Rotary does that one.
Yeah, but I'm glad you asked that, Claire, because that's one, if you're
So,
available.
On
And
the
then New
20th,
Year's
is that
Eve
noon?
lunch, Ashley's coming to entertain.
Yeah,
So it's a New Year's Eve lunch,
Oh,
but it's
that's
at noon.
cool.
and she may have a little 2-year-old singing with her, she's working on that.
So both those lunches are at noon, so if we were to
Yeah.
serve, we need to be here by noon?
The 20th and the 23rd, yes. 20th, 31st, yes.
A
those
few
will be
minutes
here.
before if you can, because we start serving soon afternoon and
Okay.
Yeah, as
Kinda get
quickly
through
as
the-
possible, because
how to do it.
people have 1 o'clock classes, so you want to try and
Yeah.
move it along.
I want to mention that December 17th, a meeting for people 90 plus.
Yeah.
So there are 80 people who are 90 and over it's basically a discussion group.
That's awesome.
And,
I'd love to sit in that. I'm sure they got some good stories.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh, a lot of, my cousin came, a lot of that is coping and,
Right.
you know, what to do and how to
Mhm.
manage things, and,
It's very smart.
yes, it's a great idea.
Do that myself.
As soon as you reach 90, you can come to that.
Got a wild joke.
What about 40?
Okay, and then Todd's report of what's been going on, and some of that is also in our unfinished business,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we can go over that. The only thing I will say is that we do need to look at the tables and the chairs in terms of the furniture, and we need to look at replacing them, because they
we
are.
ordered, I think we
falling
ordered
apart
30 or
literally.
50 chairs, and it's being split, the cost between Sill and the seniors, they're
Right.
paying for them. And but tables, I don't know if these, but some of these tables just, like here's a big
No, they've got to
crack
be
in it.
replaced, yeah.
We're gonna start replacing those, I think.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while, yeah.
Like every
I mean, look, there's a broken chair there. I mean, we need to get these chairs replaced.
Yeah.
They've been here for 20-some-odd years. So, okay. Staff and commission reports, standing fields.
Just the only thing really that we've been talking about recently is the new synthetic turf field. There's still some infill that has to be put in there, and there's been a lot of negotiations going back and forth, and we're finally at a point where they're gonna come and do it, and I just actually sent an email to the owner of the company today that, you gotta tell me when you're coming, because I gotta make sure that they need parking spaces available, and the parking lots, they have to bring, they come in giant bags, the infills, like, it's acrylic-coated sand. They come in huge bags, I think they're a ton each or something, or 1,000 pounds, but we need to know how much space they need, because I gotta let Cliff Gurnham know when they're coming, block off some spaces in that high school parking lot for them to bring this stuff. So I'm just we've been pushing them to get this done, and town attorney's been involved, way beyond me, but
Right.
now I'm the one that's gonna be the contact, so I sent an email out again, second time today, just when you're coming. Yeah,
So Are
Mhm.
just thinking, because we're talking about the stadium field coming up.
Yeah.
We're not using the same company, are we?
Well, I don't know, it has to go out to bid. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Excuse me, when you say new field, do you say the one that's had been repaired?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
upper field.
It was
The one that had been
replaced.
repaired,
Pull in.
okay.
It's just, when our architect, KBA, Council Booz Associates, does a test where they put like a meter in there to determine the amount of infill, and it was short. I mean, we wouldn't notice it, it's like 2 millimeters or whatever, but it didn't meet whatever the standard is. And so they have to bring back some more, and they're gonna do it, it's just, we gotta
So it's,
try to work on
it's
it.
standard. It shouldn't be an issue. It's
There's a standard that it has to be,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
right. So, that's probably the biggest thing, other than the Adams irrigation is done. That we tested it, it ran, but they gotta come back in the spring and train Tony, because it's a little different system and everything. You know, I mean, we did this last week, and then we winterized it, so
Yeah.
didn't have time didn't make sense to
That's
do it now.
understandable.
So it's finished, and I think that's about it.
All right. Anything from the Green Committee?
Yeah, nothing new. It was a meeting, but nothing, big to report.
land acquisitions, nothing to report.
And community center improvements, Todd's basically on top of it, and again, the chairs, the tables, and the ceilings coming up later. Okay, splash pad. Are we
Um,
splashing?
We are splashing. We have gotten the concept, 2 different concepts for Jacobs
Ah.
Beach. They did test pits in 2 different locations at Jacobs, one in the grass area and one in the sand where we had originally said we would like it. We're meeting with them tomorrow to go over the pros and cons of both locations and go over the concepts. So next month, at our next meeting, hopefully I will have revised plans
Wow.
to show you guys
Terrific.
and our recommendation of which location it should go. So,
And the fundraising, is it coming along?
fundraising is coming along. You can go on Park and Rec and order a brick. You can make monetary donations. And I'm sure we've got lots of other things in the works for you coming.
Okay. All right. Okay, unfinished business, parking issues. That's here because we keep hoping that eventually we will have parking next door.
So the parking issues
The
are
tree did
acute.
come down, unfortunately. It was beautiful white birch. But I don't foresee that we're going to have anything happen for the winter, are we, or,
I don't think so.
no?
Rose, can I address that? As you well know, I'm not a big parking lot fan.
Right.
And I just gotta say a few things on this. We really haven't discussed like what our options could be. Like, I understand that, there's need of parking, but, I mean, is it possible, like, if we have certain meetings that it's too crowded, could we switch, if they have 2 or 3 meetings at one time and that's what's causing the parking problem? Have we looked into like what nights or what days there's not enough parking?
No, the
Every
biggest
day.
problem, every day, quite
Yeah, yes.
honestly.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is not that there's a lot of separate meetings, it's that when Sills is here,
When who?
the Sills program,
Okay.
you get over 100 people that are coming to that. When we have these lunches, we have 200 people coming to lunch. I mean, everything else in the building probably is not going to happen that day because everybody knows they can't park here.
Yeah.
But you have 200 people coming to lunch. Now, we will bus some of them in, I believe. Don't we bus some
Yeah,
from?
we do, yeah.
But even then,
Yeah.
it's just too much.
The problem is like, we spend too much time accommodating the automobile. The automobile is choking us to death. It's been going, I mean, not just here, that's one of the big issues we have environmentally. Cars are choking us. And we keep making accommodations for cars. And this is just another example of, okay, we're gonna make that area over there a parking lot. Well, what are the other options? I mean, people can park at the Guilford
I know you
Green.
say
Maybe
it's
they could rent
parking,
space.
But it's really hard when we don't even have enough, honestly, enough handicap spots here. I mean, I've run into so many people who are complaining because they've got their walkers, they can't walk that far, they have bad knees, bad legs, you have to think about it.
I understand, but
I know
In
what you're,
other words,
and I
we-
understand what you're saying,
we
but
need
I
to
don't
make, we need to
know
make, like,
how we can,
we need to make sacrifices now.
right.
So for a generation, 2 generations, 3 generations down the line, we just can't keep doing this, like just paving over stuff and making parking
Well,
lots.
I don't, I mean, I don't think we're just gonna take I mean, I don't know, because this is out of our hands. It's up to the town.
Yeah,
This is not our decision. I doubt that the town's gonna come in here, clear cut the thing and throw down
Yeah, but I
asphalt.
mean, I would like us for the Park and Rec to go to the town and say, we don't want parking over there. We want like to put a park over there or something. I mean, if you ask all the residents of town, do they want a parking lot there or do they want like a park there?
If you ask the people who are using this community center,
Yeah.
you don't even have to, just come here, and they will tell you they want more
I
parking
understand it,
there.
but it's time we start taking some sacrifices. I mean, how about St. George's Church? I mean, does the town ever rent that at all? Do they have agreement with St. George's
Yeah,
Church?
They do.
We do when we have trips. When we have trips, they park
So why,
there.
I mean, so now you gotta walk 2 blocks. What's 2 blocks? I mean,
Some people,
Well, 2
it's
blocks when you have
really,
small
really
children
far.
is a long way. 2 blocks when I
well,
just had my
this is
hips or my
point.
knees done is a
It's
long
time
way.
it's time to start making sacrifices. I mean, I think that's a damn shame that lot over there is gonna be used for parking. That's a damn
But we
shame.
don't know what is.
Well, I've already been
Right.
told that. You said that's what the town's plans were.
Well, that's what we
I
hope
mean,
the
come
town's
on, I
plans
mean,
are.
people can't walk 2 blocks. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Come to lunch and see how many people here really can't walk 2 blocks. I mean, I'm not trying to.
I know, but.
But I'm just saying, there
so
are
there's-
a lot
So
of,
they have to get handicap spots then. They have to have our people drop them off. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but it's time to start making some sacrifices.
I hear
Because
you.
the automobile is killing us, it's choking us to death. And we continue to make sacrifices for it. We, 1 lane's not enough, we got 2 lanes on the highway, we got 3. I mean, where does it end? And I think this is a good, I would like our commission to say, you know what? Let's make that a nice park. That's gonna benefit everybody. Again, I repeat myself.
Right.
I mean, come on, people can't walk 2 blocks. If you can't walk 2 blocks and get a handicap spot.
But there aren't
Then
even
you
enough,
fill up
there
a
aren't enough
parking lot.
handicap spots. That's the thing,
You'd have,
is,
this whole lot would be
You know,
Then we
handicapped.
gotta start carpooling.
You're
We
totally-
gotta do something.
it's
Let's not
easy-
make a
it's-
parking lot over there.
easy to say, but it's hard, but to carpool, who stays for lunch and leaves, who stays for lunch in a class, this class is over 2, this class is over at 1:30.
I'll just.
The
and-
little kids are coming
I
in
know.
with parents, and I saw some mother, honestly, one of those cold days, and she's had to park, God knows where, but she's got one in her arm, one in the carriage, I mean, it's just, I feel sorry for her.
I'll just end it with, you know what, it's time we start sacrificing.
So-
For the next generation, 10 years, I mean,
Hey, Lawrence, fix that, see that table leg? It looks like it's about to collapse.
okay,
Oh, don't do that.
There we go.
okay.
That's a
You
notice.
need new
I don't know if you
tables.
kicked it or what.
Okay.
All right, so everybody knows where I stand.
You've been heard, absolutely.
All right, but it's going, I mean, come on.
And
I have
actually, we
4
did build a
children.
case and we needed parking, so we
I
showed
mean,
pictures of all the cars
It's not
parking like on the
always
front
bad
lawn and
for
everything
I
else, and
know.
we tried to
Right.
build a case. and we
I do
needed it.
know, I know that, they're parking
Yeah.
on the grass, they're
Yeah.
parking in the front,
Is
they're
it that
parking
hard
everywhere.
for a mother and a father to walk 2 blocks with kids? I mean,
Have you met some of these?
I've
There
done
you
it.
go. Because a mother and a father are not doing it. A mother is doing it with 2 or 3 kids, and having
But I
gotten
see
from
what you're
point A
saying,
to
though.
point B with 3 kids,
Because
it's hard.
It is. I have 3 children of my own, and
It's
I
hard.
remember that. But it's like you said, it's always like we're trying to always make it so convenient. Everything has to be so convenient for everyone.
And that's
Where
that's-
you have to just start a.
And that's what's
Yeah,
killing us.
I agree with that.
I mean, come on, 2, I
agree
remember
with that.
2 blocks.
And again, I will say, I'm here for most of the senior things, and
Yeah.
there's
That definitely
there are
is,
people,
yeah.
they can't walk. They
No.
can't.
No.
They can't.
Maybe you can make it a parking spot for,
You got a beautiful piece of property.
Well, I don't think, as I said, I don't think the town is just going to clear cut it. I think it's probably going to be a very attractive
All right.
spot. And maybe if we can talk to them about maybe having like green areas in there and whatever, so that it's a little bit of both. I think we could find a compromise there.
Nah, I'm going with just,
Okay, well, we
no
all
cars
have
over
been
there.
no cars.
Okay, the ADA at Chaffinch and Quanapug. Quanapug, I know we're still waiting on.
Yeah.
Chaffinch Island, I know we're hoping for Boy Scout, but we may not be able to hope for Boy Scout.
Yeah,
I think
Tony and I have
we need
talked
to
about
look
it.
at this in the spring and get it
If we
done.
don't get a scout to come forward, then probably can't really do a lot in the winter, because we gotta dig up the ground some,
Exactly, so we're gonna have to do this early spring.
Right.
All right, so we'll just keep this here as a
Yeah.
reminder that we need to
Right.
do this early spring. Okay, the ceiling tile replacement.
Scheduled to begin
That's-
actually tomorrow.
Yep.
They're gonna come, they're gonna bring their dumpster over, and the scissor lift that they need for getting access. they don't have the ceiling tiles yet, but the initial work is they gotta take all the grids out, because they're gonna be all new grids that are going in there. And they're starting in the Whitefield Room, so I can't remember what an entire schedule for the whole 6 weeks that they might be here. And I told them, here are days you can come, times, sometimes they can't get in until 3 o'clock. I mean, I had to work it out so we didn't have to cancel a lot of our programs and the big lunches and everything going on. December is a tough time, we have a lot happening. And we put off any winter programs that are going in there when we're not starting until like January 27th, just to make sure if they run over a little bit, they have time to do it. But I gave them a complete schedule of hours, days, and today was the first day it could start. But they called me and said they're gonna be here tomorrow, and again, get the dumpster in place, get the lift, and then.
Oh, now where is the dumpster going? Yeah, there we go. Then we're
Actually,
gonna link up.
it's going next door.
Is it really?
It's going on the other side of the fence.
All right, because there we lose another 5 parking
No, it's
spaces.
going
That's
over
all we
For
need to do
Friday,
now.
that's gonna be.
It's going over there.
So are they gonna be working Wednesday and Friday?
They might.
So if it's raining, pickleball should be canceled.
You're gonna work on the Whitfield side, yeah, because you do come over beyond the wall, right? Yeah.
So there's no, I don't really know the routine for rainy days, but if I have planned that Wednesday and Friday, if it's raining, we can't go in.
That would be correct.
That would
If
be
they,
correct
if they
at
do
this point, I
start,
think.
they actually do start. They're gonna start just mobilizing stuff for now. So I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be here actually working Wednesday or not yet. I just spoke to the guy today. And,
And I'll just play it by ear.
yeah, just check in with us and we'll kind of know what's
Okay.
happening. But we gave them a list of dates and times when they can be here, and it's in their contract, so, like there's a day I said they can start at 7 and be there till 11 at night if they want. They're not going to, but I said, those are the hours, anytime in there, you have those hours, you can work here. So they gotta let us know what hours they're gonna be here. So anyway, tomorrow they're starting to
Good.
mobilize at least.
And it's a much better system, so we're very pleased. It's supposed to be better for acoustics, and if you hit a tile, it's not gonna slide down.
Right.
So we should not have holes in the ceiling at all anymore.
Right.
All right, here's hoping. Okay, peddlers ordinance, we had some questions about,
We still have those questions. We're waiting for a reply from Town Hall.
okay, hopefully we'll get it before summer.
That'd be nice.
Okay, the regulations in the ordinances for the parking lot. Rick and I did go to the selectmen's meeting, and they were very receptive, I think, and they're going to look at it. And we just really pointed out that we have to look at all the parks, not just these, but all parks. We just can't have people picnicking in the parking area. It is not safe. So I think they heard us, and they are going to look into that. And then the same week, we presented the capital improvements budget. And so there's been a change, I think. The design for the park garage and the construction of the garage is really part of the, what's the committee called? The Facilities Task Force. So we sort of took it out of the budget for now. And I'm hoping, we did ask that they look at the, rebuild the Adams Tennis Court and construct the pickleball courts, that we move those up. Now, I did ask, and we hope that they do that. But again,
That
we
would
have to
be
wait to hear.
awesome.
Well, we have to wait to hear from them.
The program is just out of control.
Yeah, well, we pointed that out to them. We really did. We explained that it's expanding, that we needed the room. So it's in, as I said, the ball is in their court.
Can
There's
they
not
make
much
a
more to
bubble
do.
over the forecourts?
I wouldn't count on that.
You have to come in here when it rains.
I wouldn't go that far.
Plenty of parking, right, Judy?
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Yes, there would. Okay, and also, so, talking about the park garage, or the garage for our parks guys, Gary McElhenney offered to come and speak to us, and we're gonna see if we can take him up on it next month, about what the Facilities Task Force is doing and what they foresee as happening in terms of what can we do for these guys who need a better garage
And
and
Gary
more
is
than a
who?
portable. Gary McElhenney is chairing the Facilities Task Force. So he'll come and speak with us next month about this. So we have a better idea of how it's going, because, it's better to hear it from him than to hear it.
So he doesn't work for the town, he's a citizen and,
Yes, he used to be one of our selectmen,
okay.
but he agreed to do that. So that's how that stands, and we just have to wait to hear back on our capital budget. Okay. Any other unfinished business that I missed? New business. Rick, before we start, Peddlers Park. Refresh my memory. We don't control Peddlers Park
So
anymore.
Peddlers Park, I stayed around a little bit after that
Right.
meeting you and I were at, and I believe it was on the agenda for their meeting today. I wasn't there, but they were proposing that it be turned over, that the Conservation Commission get a conservation easement to increase trails, whatever they want to do there. And one of the members of the Board of Selectmen asked, well, why don't we just sell it to you, just sell it? And they said because there's a former landfill there, the land trust they couldn't buy it because part of it's a landfill. So anyway, they're going to have a conservation easement, and basically they can
So basically, if there's a
add more trails.
conservation easement there, then Peddlers Park is not part of our park system
I would
anymore.
say that's accurate.
So we don't have to worry about it.
No,
Okay.
I still have my.
We haven't been able to do anything there anyway. So-
Well, so why we might as well just, we sit here and list all our parks and things, might as well just take it off and move on.
But it's a beautiful place for trails. I mean,
It is.
we had a
That's
nice
fine.
layout of the disc golf course there, would have been a
Yeah.
really nice trail, and so they can still make it a trail if they want. It's a nice spot.
All right, so speaking of our disc golf, Greg would like to expand. Explain what expansion means in this. I mean, we're not going to add more.
It's still 18
Holes.
holes. He wants to make them longer. It is, for people who play a lot, they've told me that the only, as Lauren said, people really do say a lot of favorable things about the park, the golf course. It's good design, a good layout and everything, but it's short. I mean, for me, when we played 430 feet, that's a long, that's a long hole, but that's short for people who play a lot. So I think he wants to make it into a potential high-level tournament course. So what he wants to do is lengthen all those fairways, have them longer. So there'd be two fairways. We still have the basket like we have now for recreational players. But if you remember, when we bought the basket, we bought extra sleeves so that he can either move the basket, which is a simple solution, just put the sleeves in the ground. If you have a pro-level tournament, you just move the basket, make it longer. Or you get another set of baskets, and then you have really almost like two courses in one. If people want to play the long hole, they can. If they want to play the short hole, they can. So it's just, like in a
there's
golf
enough room
course,
to
it's the
do
same
this.
idea.
Would we still have to clear? Like clear
So we'd have to
more?
clear more. So I talked to Kevin McGee about it. The bubble, if you remember, there was a bubble that was approved
Right.
by the Board of, by Planning and Zoning and Wetlands Commission. As long as he stays in that bubble, which he would, he can do it. He doesn't have to go back for more approvals. And I checked that out with Kevin McGee. He said they approved the bubble. We said it's gonna be somewhere in that bubble. We didn't know exactly where it was gonna
Right.
go in there. And so as long as he stays in the bubble, he can do it, or we can do it. We can do whatever we want, basically. And, still stay away from wetlands and what all the regulations are there.
Does Craig have a recommendation of using the sleeves and moving them, or ordering to have the two courses kind of?
Ideally, he'd like to have two sets of pads and two sets of baskets, which would be four courses, really. You got short to short, short to long, long to long, long, to- you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I told him that my preference, and this is the commission's, what you want to do, is that the tee pads, excuse the pun, are tedious. They're probably the hardest thing to do, other than clearing out, what we have to clear out. And, we were fortunate, we had 7 Eagle Scouts at the time that we built what we have. Unless there's a lot of Eagle Scouts, it's gonna be harder to get this done. And there's a cost, it's gonna be a cost, if we get new baskets are, I think, around $300 a piece. And so, the fundraising we did, I don't, quite frankly, think we need to should go out and get sponsors all over again. We got sponsors to build what we had. We have a tournament, raise some money, I think that's what we'll have to do, is start raising some money, set it aside to purchase all those kinds of things. But the sleeves we already have, so if he wants to go ahead and, start laying out the longer course for the extra baskets, we don't need, for initially, extra baskets, we can just put the sleeve in the ground, you just move the basket. So financially, shouldn't be really any cost other than maybe our guys doing some of the work to help cut some of the little trees down. Again, it would be still cut smaller ones.
Both courses use the same tee launch area.
For now, he eventually would like to have 2 tees, but that's, again, we'd have to discuss if we want to do that.
So
But for
basically,
now-
what he's proposing is just to dig another hole, to put a sleeve in, to put the basket in.
Right.
And we already have the
Use it- For now,
the sleeves.
the tee pads that we have the sleeves, yeah,
Yeah.
but the clearing has to be done. So, one of the comments is that if you finish hole 1, it's a pretty long walk to get to number 2. But his long-range plan would be hole 1, the basket would be quite a bit farther, so it would be not such a long walk, it'd be
Right.
probably half the distance it is now. So that's kind of what he's thinking.
Okay.
The letter here, he doesn't justify why, we know why he wants it, he wants to do tournaments, but he doesn't have anything here to justify why he wants the longer course. He should probably put something in writing to say, this is why I propose it, because so we can host tournaments and, more people are gonna come into town,
Right.
On and on and on. There's nothing in here that justify what he wants.
He always wanted the longer course.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
always what his intent was, and we kind of reined him back just a little bit to emphasize that we got to make sure this is something that people who are beginners
Right.
can play and be successful at, enough, so that they're not frustrated taking 10th rows to get to the basket.
You do need a shorter course, absolutely.
Right.
Do we have emails or contact for people that have played in these tournaments or have played up there, that we could do a survey? To, just to
Yeah,
have some
yeah.
data to say, these 50 people have played and, 40 of them would love to see it extended and more of a challenge, and then these 10 think it's perfect the way it is.
We
or-
may actually, because I think when people registered, we probably have their email, and they registered through us for that tournament, so I think we can get
It's just
that.
always good to have the
Most of those
data,
people were
just like
beginners,
Lawrence was asking.
Because that tournament was designed for beginners.
Beginners, that's 'cause you had the little
intermediate. There weren't any
tutorial.
advanced, although the guy who won was only 1 over par, that's pretty good. He played very
Who
well.
won? Who won?
His name was John something from Fairfield. And, yeah, he shot a 57, and 56 is if you par everything. So he was under par, on obviously some of the holes and maybe over on a couple. But Craig always wanted to have it a bigger one. We again, the plan was, we said, well, let's start smaller, so it's enticing to people who maybe want to learn the sport, because you want to have success and not fail at it, because we want to encourage people to do it, play it.
I would
Yeah,
rather,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I'd rather see it, if anything, stay at a recreational level, because that's basically most of who would play, more recreational. I mean, you're getting feedback from people that are traveling all over.
But I do.
And some of the feedback was from people who just went to the tutorial and just played the day.
Yeah,
Right.
fine, that was fine.
Yeah.
That's what I think
But the
it should
shorter
be, but
baskets
I
will
don't,
always be there.
I realize that, I'm just
Okay.
expressing that I would,
Do you
for
think-
our purposes,
Yeah.
it's more a recreational
Then a tournament.
than a tournament all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it is a great idea, though, to put the long course in there, because not only will get the recreational people there, and then, have the long course for tournaments, and, have them do it for a year or two without putting all new tee boxes in, and then, put the extensions in there. He says he's gonna host tournaments, see how it goes for a year or two.
Yeah, and then do the tee boxes.
And then do the
after.
tee boxes.
Do this in stages.
Yeah.
So for now, the permission would be just to do the additional clearing that he wants to do, to mark it out, to make it the longer course. Again, we within the bubble, and all
Within the
that's been
bubble.
approved, as long as the commission's okay, because again, it's gonna be some more trees coming down, but you've all, I think most of you have been out there and seen it, and it's not like, like we always said, it's not clear cutting.
No.
A lot more trees stay than were taken
And
down.
he's been a man of his word.
They're
I mean,
small.
right?
Yes.
Everything he said he would do.
Yeah.
He hasn't overstepped his bounds,
Right.
so he's somebody we could trust. And
When you say bubble, is that around each hole or each?
The bubble was like, when we did the map, the original master map, that we had to get approval from Planning and Commission first, and the two other commissions, Planning and Zoning and Wetlands Commission. There was an approval, let's say the hole number one, the bubble maybe was 300 feet, but the hole's probably like 200 feet.
Right.
So there's a lot more we can expand.
So it's
You got approved
individual,
inside.
not the
Individual
whole
holes.
big
Right.
part.
Each hole has its own bubble.
Every hole had a bubble,
Yeah.
right. So we always said it'd be somewhere in there. We didn't know
Yeah.
until he really laid it out where in there it was gonna go.
Gotcha.
And now he wants to just extend it a little bit. He did ask to widen some of them, though. I'm not sure why we initially did this, but with the max width we said was 50 feet. He said now he's gonna go longer. He'd like to be able to go wider on those longer ones because, as you're trying to throw farther, you need more width because it, curves and whatever.
Just stay with the ball.
Yeah. It'll still be in the bubble.
That's the important part.
Right.
So tonight, all he's asking is if we will give permission to do the clearing.
I would say that's correct, yeah.
And
That
put
we're
in a
not-
longer
We're not
basket.
actually putting anything in yet
Okay.
and making decisions on
Right.
buying baskets or putting the sleeves in. We're just asking to
Correct.
clear them.
Because the winter is the best time to do that. Because you could see better, the leaves aren't on the trees, you could get it.
Yes.
I mean, he did a great job. He would kind of look, and I was in it with him a couple times, he'd kind of look this way, that way, move over there, and try, you kind of get a vision of where it should go, and, the best lay of the land to make it happen, and he did a good job with it, he really did. People are,
so Rick, who
Raving about it.
would do the actual clearing?
well, I would probably propose that if we have a slow winter, we'd have our guys doing it, because we don't really want volunteers up there with chainsaws.
Yeah.
So this is what we did last year. Again, it was a
Yeah.
slow winter, so
We were
I said to
lucky.
guys to do more of the cutting.
And you guys,
And then we have volunteers to move
And
them.
your crew would put the sleeves in too?
Unless we had a Boy Scout. Boy Scout did all the ones that are there now. So
Yeah.
if there's a scout or a troop that wants to do it, then we'll see if they'll help out with that.
How about, if we give permission to clear it and also to put the sleeves in, and then he'll be good to go.
Right.
First thing
In the spring.
in the spring.
Yeah.
Although, do they play in the winter?
They do.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't, give permission to do both, have it cleared and also. to put
Clear and get the
sleeves in.
sleeves put in?
Get the
Yeah,
sleeves
I
put
guess
in.
that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my guess is he'll want to, once, you approve this, I'll get in touch with him tomorrow and tell him that if he wants to go out with his stakes and start marking out where he wants to put these things, then he can get it laid out. And then what happened then we put ribbons up on the tree so our guys knew, okay,
Which-
where's the
yes.
boundary here? And so he knew to stay within that boundary. And,
Do we need to make a motion, or?
Sure, go
I
ahead.
need to make a motion to, permission to clear it for the longer course and put the sleeves in for the longer course, as long as he stays within the original plan.
Second?
Second.
Okay.
Should you reiterate that you're just cutting brush and little trees?
nothing bigger than 6 inches or 8 inches, whatever, 8
8
inches,
inches
that's
usually
what,
is
that
what we
was the
did last
limit.
time.
That was the original
8 inches.
specification.
Right.
yeah.
Just for people
Yeah.
that are listening.
I mean, it's really not gonna
Yeah.
change it very
Yeah,
much at
yeah.
all.
I'm already waiting for it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, last thing, budget. Well, next to the last thing. But we do need to, do we know when our budget is due?
No, and usually it's around December 21st, 22nd, usually somewhere in there. One year was after New Year.
One year was the beginning of January, wasn't it?
Yeah.
About 9?
Right.
Okay. So we do have to have a meeting to go over the budget. How about, I don't know how we can plan this. What if, Rick, when you find out when the budget is due, we'll get together, try to find a night that we can get a room, and whoever can come, can come. How's that sound? Is that okay? I mean, I don't know what else we can do.
That's what we
Because
did
it's
last
hard.
time, right? That's what we did last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get everybody here.
And I don't
Especially during the
anticipate any
holiday
big change-
season.
last year, big changes where we added the trash trucks, and we added another worker.
Yeah.
That was a big change, and, I mean, I don't see nothing on the horizon like that that's a big difference from what we're doing now. I mean, price of
Well,
fertilizer
can
might
you
have gone
just-
up, I have to look at that. but-
So can you just start like now, looking at it and,
I started today, actually, just started to
Good.
look at some things and started, trying to
And start to work
Well,
off
there's
of
some
last
thoughts.
year's a little bit, you know, even if we don't get all the information from the town hall yet, at least we know what we,
Yeah,
a ballpark of where we,
Mhm.
what we need to do. That would help.
yeah.
Okay. All right, the last thing is we received, so we have to add this to new business C. We received a request from Joan Hickey, who would like to put a bench at the Barbara Pine beach looking towards Faulkner Island. And I do believe when we went down there, Claire, that we did see they could we had room down there for one more bench. 'Cause we don't want to fill up, it's a small beach.
Right.
But there is room for one more bench down there, so it can be done.
So I am requesting the opportunity to pay all expenses required to install a bench on the public knoll above the left.
If you're looking at the beach, there's a rise over on the left side. She wants to put a bench up there.
And we're talking where?
Daniel Avenue Beach.
Oh.
Indian
There-
Cove.
There's a picnic table there now, and I think it's placed a picnic table. It's not a permanent one, it's just one of ours we put out there. And she would, I think that's where she wants to put the bench.
Is she looking to, use the benches that we normally do? I see that she's an artist. Or is she looking to make a bench that goes there?
I don't know.
It should be
Because it says
consistent.
requested engraving on bench. Oh, so. So I didn't know, just seeing her business card that she's got some artistic abilities, that wasn't sure if she wants it to be artsy or if we're just going with our normal standard bench.
When we have three different kind of benches, the bench in the green is different from the ones that are at Jacobs Beach, which are different from the ones that are Chaffinch. Chaffinch, you remember, they're all like marble.
Yeah.
They're kind of sterile, sort of looking, you know,
Yeah,
they're not a park
My guess is
bench.
at Daniel Avenue, do you want something where you could sit back, relax, and look out?
Yeah,
Sort of like with
with
a
a-
back.
with a back.
More like the
Yeah.
ones at Jacobs.
Rick, in your opinion, would it be a good idea to have one down there?
Well, yeah, I suggested that spot to her. She originally was talking about on the beach. There actually is one on the beach, but it's almost always buried in sand. We have to keep digging it out. It's a marble one, or granite, I guess, granite. And after any big storms, it's hard to find it. And so I suggested probably on the beach would not be a good idea, but that knoll is a good spot. It's a great spot to sit and look out over Faulkner's Island and, you know, over the bay there. I think it's,
I have,
It's
you
a
know, I
good
have
spot.
some, when Claire and I went out, remember we went out and looked
Oh,
at
yeah,
all,
yeah.
where we could add beach, chairs, or where we could add
Yeah.
benches, and we did say we could add a bench to
Yeah,
Daniel.
granite ones don't seem like you ever see anybody sitting on them? They're uncomfortable to sit on. As long as it's not a granite bench.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody sitting on a granite bench?
Well, they look
Well,
like
I have,
memorials.
but
It's up on the
they
river.
were memorials, that's how it started, yeah, so you're right.
Sit on memorials, sorry.
And
I was taught not
apparently,
to.
what pause to reflect and take joy in the view would be engraved on the bench. All right,
Is this her card?
do we get a
Yes.
motion to approve this?
I make a motion that we approve a bench at Daniel Avenue by request of Joan Hickey,
Second?
Dennis and Joan Hickey.
All right, any other discussion on this?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any other business? Are we done? Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Yeah.
Second. Somebody second the motion.
Second.
Please.
Hey, Claire, you were complaining before you get held up? You're an hour and a half here? I'm going, let's go.